Hey everybody, Chiron here, and welcome back to another episode of Banished. So, we've got a little bit to do today. Last time we were preparing to make some pewter so that we could start getting our production underway of fancy homewares. And we do need some fancy furniture as well, but we do have our hardwood forester up and running. If you remember, I think it was 2 episodes ago we put this in. He's been hard at work, so we have plenty of hardwood. So let's take a look at what we have. So we have 4 fancy homewares yet. And what do we have for just regular homewares? 24. So I think we're actually good for this very moment. How many do these require? So these require 2 apiece. So I can put in 2 more of the large 5-wide residences. And I think I may do that. Okay, so let's put in a colonial house. And colonial homestead. We'll use up the materials that we have, and since we're finishing out this corner, we might as well put this guy in here. There we go. So that should effectively finish out that corner. We do need 1 more in here. It needs to be a single wide building, and then these are all flat. So why don't we do the townhouse? And I need to make sure it's the right color. Boom, right there. So we should have this entire corner finished out once all of that gets built. Our population is doing a lot better, so we have a lot more children and students coming in. I did stop all of our fisheries because they just weren't performing very well, and I wanted to get some of those people reassigned to other tasks. So, what else do we have here? At the end of the last episode, I put in our apothecary, and it did finally build. I think what we want to do is, since we don't have wine and we only have the 1 oil press, I think we want to do the healing poultice, which is honey, bone meal, and cloth. So we have plenty of honey from our apiary here, but we need cloth. And we do have bone meal from, is it produced directly? It is. So all of our fields here are producing bone meal. So they should keep us going for quite a while. We also do have our bakery, which is up and running, making bread out of flour and butter. But we are low on butter. Where is that? That's what I'm looking for. No butter, no cheese. Why do we have no butter and no cheese? Because we're out of milk. Why are we out of milk? Interesting. Also did split one of these fields. This field got diseased, so I moved our Frisians up here. And then I moved our beef cows down here, and I split them, so we do have a second pasture going. We also have 1 pasture finished here, and our workers are slowly working on getting another one. So I think once this gets up to 10, I think I might split this and just have those both working on getting cows going. So we're out of milk. I thought we would have had plenty of milk. We have plenty of food. And I don't think anything's really using milk. 30. Interesting. Okay. Let's change this back to hardtack. Just get some food going. And then we can build up our other supplies of butter and cheese. Let's take a look at a trading post. Nothing good. And a little bit of leg. Some silver, not really interested. Actually, silver we could probably take. So we'll get that. Silver is still pretty rare. Yeah, these are producing 3 silver per year, which is not all that great. So get some nomads up in here, and let's start filling out some of our professions here. Let's see, we can up our gatherer. Why are our herdsmen skewed like that? I have all these as 2. I think I did that when we had an abundance, but we don't need 2 per. 1 is fine. Save a couple people there. We'll up our hunters, and the rest we'll keep as laborers and builders, so we can get these cleared out a little bit. Frisian cows there. We have 9. 8. 9. That's not a good sign. This one's 19. So this one's going down. Let's empty that. Looks like these fields are probably... Oops. Herdsman. 8 of 10. Ah. Did not drop this one down. There we go. Perfect. How are you doing? Still at 9. We'll have to keep an eye on that. See what's going on. Alright. So, we've got our healing poultice. Should be pretty good. We do need some cloth yet. So we've got a couple of options. We can build another weavers, or we can turn this into cloth, and we can use feather and cloth to make bedding. We'll get this working. And this will produce cotton for the poultice, and it'll also produce, or it'll produce cloth for the poultice, and then it'll also produce for the bedding. Then we can come over here and change this up to bedding. So it should not affect our production at all. Well, maybe a little bit, until they kind of build up a little bit of material here and bring it over, but not anything to be concerned with. Alright, so we've got all the materials for those. They're just waiting to get constructed. So our population's looking pretty darn good. Now I think I want to work on down here a little bit. I want to get a kind of a second area where we could start moving some of these buildings that are kind of getting in our way. So why don't we get working on that? I'm going to do country houses because I like country houses. They're pretty cheap. They have high warmth, high comfort, and they just, all in all, do a great job. One thing somebody had pointed out in the comments, one of my longtime viewers, is a tiny shack can be upgraded to hold 4 people, which is a pretty good amount. You get the 2 parents and then 2 children, and it's only a 2x3. So it's a really small footprint, and yet you can still have a full family in it. So I might have to tinker with that a little bit, see where I can fit those in. Maybe make a little shanty town or something out in the woods somewhere. All right, so we'll do our good old-fashioned country houses. And then I'm just going to kind of put these in. Oh, there's another mountain there. That sucks. Might be time to bust out our good old friend, the power level tool. See if we can get our country homes in there now. Not quite. Gotta go one more. There we go. And a little bit of a cough yet, so I will have to mute my mic once in a while, so I don't deafen all of you headphone users. And also take a couple of swigs of my tea. Still rocking the chamomile with honey. It is quite good. Alright. So what else do we have working here? We're out of wool. How in the world are we out of wool? Oh, we've been buying a lot of stuff lately. They're probably going to the traders, but we should have less going on at our traders. Really, the only thing that I am interested in buying is silver and gold. So, shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, what else do we have working on here? So, we have our third blacksmith. Well, our tools are keeping up, though. So, we have 51 extra tools. I think we have a cap of 100 tools. Yep. So that should be fine. Our metalsmith is in place. We need to change that over to pewterware, and we'll let's see. So that's our blacksmith, 11 of 11. So 10 pewter for 1 pewterware. Holy cow, that is quite a bit. So maybe I should start buying pewter, just straight up pewter, because it's a lot of materials. So, you know, that's 40 copper and tin to make 1 pewterware. And I think we need... Do we only need 1? No, we need 7. Holy cow. That's a heck of a lot. Oh, like 280? Sheesh. 280 ore to make 1 fancy homeware. That is definitely pricey. Alright, what else have we been working on since the last episode? I think that's pretty much it. We've got our stack burner in place, so we've got that guy going, creating our charcoal, which is a lot more efficient than the chopper that we had here. We're still working on our firewood. I think we have quite a bit of firewood. Being in a hot environment, they don't use it very often. We still have 200, so once we're out of firewood entirely, I'm going to switch our furnace fuel over to charcoal. We have probably an absurd amount of sugarcane and bamboo. 30,000 bamboo and 25,000. So, I mean, we could probably just stop production on these, in all honesty. Which is good. It means that we only need a couple of plantations to really keep up with the demand. So, it's good news for us. How are we doing here? 20. Wow, these are quite a bit smaller. What do we got here? 8. Why? Why do you gotta be like that? Alright, empty. There you go. Frisian cows, empty. So yeah, we'll switch fields, see if maybe these fields were just a little bit diseased or something was going on with them. Because we really need our Frisian cows to grow in a really bad way. Alright. So, our labor pool's building up a little bit, which is great. What do you need? You need cloth. Let's do that. Alright. I think we're cooking with gas here. Let's try and fill this out. I think I am going to AFK all of this because this is just a lot of buildings that take time to build. So let's get everything in place, and then we can kind of go from there. Row houses. Could do row houses too. They're only 3 wide instead of 4 wide. It's an interesting concept. Do I want to put those in anywhere? Actually, how wide are these? Oh, these are 3. Yeah, so there's really no difference. The nice thing about these is you can have one home going out the front, and then you can put these little conservatories on the back, and you can make a really small secondary building on the back of these townhouses. It's actually kind of neat. It's a neat idea. I think when I get into our fort, we're going to look into that a little bit more. And they're cheap too, so it's only 30 lumber. You don't need any building supplies. Although here you need 3 building supplies to make 1, which is pretty expensive. So it's got its pros and cons. Alright, so on this side here we need to make all of our 3 wides. So we'll do... This is a townhouse, right? Yep. So let's do a right. A townhouse. And then a left. And then this should be where our tunnel goes, which this tunnel's not going to lead to anything, unfortunately, but it'll at least get them through. There we go. And then we need to do 3 more. So let's do townhouse, townhouse, and then a right. And then we need to put in one of our wider buildings here. And there we go. That'll fill out that corner nicely. Still haven't decided 100% what I want to do with the paving here. I think I do want to put it in these paving stones. The problem being that if we want to do a road, you can't put a road on where the building tile is. So there would be those little segments there. So I think what I do want to do is use those underbuilding paving tiles, which I believe were here. I think this is them, or is this the, nope, that's the Quayside version. Can't remember exactly where it was. I'm sure I'll find it at some point. Whoa. So yeah, you can build a new castle too, but they're horribly, horribly expensive. 100 lumber, 250 stone, and then 150 lumber. So, if that's your thing, you can litter the countryside with castles, which would be pretty cool. Takes up a lot of room for a little bit of storage, though. Actually, I don't know what the storage capability is. That's probably pretty good. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20,000. Yeah, it's not really good. You're better off with magazines and barn banks, or bank barns, or whatever they're called. Seeing as how we get it wrong every single time. Alright, so what else do we have here? We need to get a couple more buildings in here, and it's the same layout, so it's gonna be 1, 2, uh-oh. Oh yeah, we're good. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then you can't really see the blueprint for the tunnel house, but it is there. And then let's go like so. And then the... oh, can't fit our townhouse in there. So we'll put one there. We'll do our right. Which, are you not selected? There you go. And then we'll have to start demolishing a couple of these things. This one actually should go right away. Doesn't have anything in it. And then we can continue on with the design. So we have a left, a right. Let's do a townhouse. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then this is going to be our corner. So corner's going to go right there. And while we're at it, let's get rid of these trees because they are bothering me. Alright. So to build the rest of this, I'm going to have to get rid of this, but this is a lot of material that I don't want them spending time moving, but rather they focus on building. Alright. And then down here, we just need some 3 wide buildings. So we'll do... oh, there's a fire. Ah, shoot. This building burned down. And it's our smithy. So let's get working on that. And there you go. So we have this smithy in place that we can use until this one's rebuilt. So luckily it was just that one that burned down. So not too big of a deal. Alright. Back to work. So we'll do you. And you don't line up. Why do you not line up? Let's see, 3. What are we doing over here? Are we off by 1? What could that be? Interesting. Alright, so let's do a little creative engineering here. I am off by 1. Whoops. My bad. So apparently this tunnel is not centered. Ah, well. It's all good. So if we do... we need something that's 4 wide over here. And you can't really do 4 wide out of that. I would have to destroy 2 of these. And then put in 2. So I'd have to destroy 3 of these, 2 over here and 1 over here. Put in some 5 wide buildings. Or I could just destroy all of them. Which I think I might do. So, I'll do that off camera just because it's a little bit tedious. But I'd rather it be correct. Alright, so let's get these in place. Color. And then we'll do a townhouse. And those are wrong as well because they need to be 5 wide. So we'll get rid of those. Man, I don't know if my cold is affecting my brain. I think it is. Alright, let's get the right one in place. And then we won't be able to put that one in quite yet, but we can start over here. And then we're going to move. What in the world is that? Alright, well that's getting power flattened. Alright, back to it. Move it over one so that we have room when we shift all the buildings over. Boom. And then we're going to do a corner building here. And then this one's going to be a townhouse. It should fit perfectly. There we go. So that corner meets up. We've got all the inside buildings good to go. We just have to kind of shift these all over one. Which, not a big deal. A little bit time consuming. But, what else am I going to do? Alright, so we'll wait for those to get built up. And stockpile, I don't know what I want to do. If I want to make more stockpiles. Otherwise, we have something. We have the specialized warehouses that we could potentially put in. Can we fit one in here anywhere? Yeah, so let's try one of these specialized warehouses out. We'll throw it in right there. There's a road right here where they can kind of carry materials in. So we'll get that up and running, see how much it holds. See what kind of a replacement it is for these. You know, if it only holds like 200 goods or something like that, then we're probably not going to use them. But if we can replace all these ugly stockpiles with these nice warehouses, I think that would be a really great thing. Alright, so how are we doing on pewterware? Pewterware, 132. That's what I like to see. Alright, so how is furnishings going? Furnish. So furniture we have 210. So why don't we trade this over for fancy furniture? We'll start getting a stockpile of that going. And then if we need some more fancy furnishings, which we will, we've got a lot of these that need to be built. So we'll be able to kind of switch back and forth as necessary. Alright. So let's get you prioritized because we need to make sure that we keep up on tools. Looks like we're doing fine. We were at 50 tools before it burned down. Now we're at 88. Yep, 93. So we're doing okay without it. I just don't like having that building down. I want to continue to produce steel tools instead of iron. So yeah, let's increase our builders a little bit here. We've got a good supply of citizens now, which is great. And we're capped. Ooh, look how we have 5,000 fuel stored. Ooh, that is good. And these are getting built up pretty good. So we've got our 6 in here, and then we've got 6 more down here that are in queue. So we've got plenty of homes coming up. Should have plenty of babies being born. Children moving off on their own, leaving their parents to go work in the salt mines. Everybody's dream. Actually, our salt mine is down, so I can't really say that. They can work in the coal mines. And they can get the black lung pa. Let's get these working too. Why not? Might as well. Alright, so we're good there. Still 9. 19, so that one's capped. Let's turn this one into Frisian as well. We'll split. And then, oh, we need to drop this down. 1. Oh, nope, we only need 9 herdsmen. So we have 9, 9, and 5. And 5. So we've got 4 different fields that all have Frisian cows in them. So hopefully one of these fields will start producing a good supply of Frisian so that we can keep up on our milk. We can get some more cheese at our dairy. And then we can go back to producing some a little bit higher quality food at our bakery, which would be good. And we need to use our hardtack. We need to start getting into the fort stuff. Alright. So I think that's pretty much going to do it. I've got a lot of housing in place. I'm going to spend a little bit time off camera just waiting for these homes to finish so that we don't have to kind of sit here with all of our villagers occupied with bringing materials around, and we can continue on next time. So, anyway, that's where we start another town too. So we've got this little town here. I want to expand on this, obviously get rid of these log cabins. We've got this little town started, and I'm not sure if I want to do another town over here or over here. We could probably put... We could probably turn this into like a fishing village. That would be kind of neat. So use all of the dock pieces, the dock homes, and you know, all this kind of stuff. I think that would be a good idea. And then we need a place for the fort, which right here might be a good place for the fort. Or do we want to do it here? This might be our fort. It's not really a useful piece of land, and it's very fort-like. You know, it's got mountains all around it, so it's easily defendable. So, might do that. I don't know. Leave your suggestions. I'm up for whatever. Obviously, this series is more for you all than it is for me, so feel free to leave comments with what you want to see. If you have any recommendations or anything that I'm doing absolutely derpy, please feel free to let me know. I probably am a derp every moment of the day, but I like to know when I'm doing something excessively derpy. So, yeah, definitely appreciate everybody coming out, and see ya next time.